Education Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Now, in this segment, we'll be starting with cooperative societies. As a business entity or business unit, a cooperative society is much economic in nature than profit-oriented, even though it actually involves making profit as well. But a cooperative society can be defined or can be seen as a business organization which involves the voluntary association of individuals with a common economic interests coming together to establish, to pool their resources and better their common goal. So in other words, we are looking at a case where the individuals actually have a common interest from which they actually want to solve such problems that they have in common. Now, when these things happen, the cooperative society is formed. The oldest form of cooperative society was started in the year 1944 or 1844, I meant to say 1844, by a group of weavers in the city of Rochdale in England, where 22 weavers brought in their resources and started a movement, buying their resources in large quantities. So that started the motion or the movement of cooperatives. Now, today we could have some types of cooperative societies. Types of cooperative societies. Types of cooperative societies. Now, the first thing, when we have the producers cooperative, society, we have the consumers cooperative society, the producers cooperative society, consumers cooperative society. We have the multi-purpose cooperative society, or what we call the hybrid, multi-purpose or hybrid cooperative society. We now have the last one, which we call the credit and thrift cooperative. When we actually talk about a producers cooperative society, we are looking at a type of cooperative society that is formed with the main purpose of obtaining the raw materials and establishing a market for its products. Then they get raw materials and get markets for what? For their products. Now, a producers cooperative will pool the resources together and get raw materials at cheaper rates per unit. And after production, they also go ahead to create or establish or make sure that they secure markets for each of the members of the cooperative. Now, that is producers cooperative society, so which means they actually deal with looking at the whole organization, looking at their whole members and what they produce. So now, then the other one, the consumers cooperative is it comprises a group of individuals which actually bring their resources together to bypass the exploitation of the middlemen by going straight to the producers and getting the goods at cheaper rates. Now, these common consumables that they actually involve in, each of them, by the time it goes through the middlemen, it becomes a little bit higher, but when they go straight to the manufacturer or the producer, it becomes cheaper. So the cooperative society, the members pool their resources, contribute their resources, and they're able to secure the products or the commodities at cheaper rates. Then the multi-purpose or hybrid cooperative society is a cooperative society which involves individuals with different interests at different points in time. They pool their resources to make sure that their interests that are prevalent at a particular time is solved at any time it comes up. That is where you have things like the Lion Club, Ikoyi Club. Is not meant for a particular purpose, but definitely it is either to assist members or for members to always have members, when a common issue arises, they will be able to solve it at cheaper rates. Then credit and thrift is a form of cooperative which encourages savings among members and also grants loans to members at very cheap and affordable rates of interest. So this encourages some local forms of credit and thrift, what we call the esusus, the ajos, and so on and so forth, where people they pool their resources, give to one person. But in many cases, these thrifts don't actually come at any rate of interest, but relies on the goodwill of members for the society to continue. Now, no matter what the society or cooperative society may be, the cooperative society have common features. What are the characteristics of a cooperative society? We'll be looking at them, we'll be mentioning them one after the other. First is that it is a voluntary association. It is not mandatory by any means. So which means you can decide to join. It is free entry and free exit. So you can decide to join, you can decide not to join. So it is not compulsory or mandatory, it is voluntary. So it's a voluntary association of individuals. Number two is that members that belong to a particular cooperative society have a common goal or a common interest. Members of a certain, the members always have a certain common goal at heart, or that binds them together and compels them to pursue a particular goal. Then the third is that every cooperative societies are democratically run. Cooperative societies are democratically run. Now, what that means is that every member has equal voting rights despite the contributions one has made over the organization. Now, the fourth one is that it is established through the contributions of members. The main capital of the organization of the cooperative is obtained through subscriptions or contributions of members. The fifth thing we talk about is that a cooperative society is just established not majorly for profit motive but for protecting the interests of the members or pursuing the interests of members, the social or economic interests of members. Now these, and also the last one is that the cooperative society is a legal entity. Of course, the members enjoy limited liability. Now that's a lowdown of cooperative society. The next stop here is the public corporation. Public corporation. Now, against every other thing we have studied here, says profit involved, except the cooperative society, where profit is partially the main goal of establishment. But in the case of public corporation, it is a business entity that is owned and managed by government, but established by an act of parliament to provide certain essential or welfare services to the generality of the public. So in other words, for a public corporation, profit is not the motive for business activities or production activities, but to maximize the social welfare of the citizens. A public corporation is financed through the taxpayers' money as allotted to it from the budget. Now, meaning that definitely the whatever it has to produce has to influence, has to affect or go down or favor the general citizens. Now, a public corporation, of course, includes the then NEPA or Nigerian Airways. You have the Nigerian universities, you have the Nigerian Universities Commission, and so on and so forth. Nigerian Communication Commission. They are all public corporations that are meant to guard the interest or render services to the general public. Now, a public corporation, of course, definitely is established as a company, but it is not a private enterprise. It is a public enterprise. Now, another defining factor there is that a public corporation, while it is established by an act of parliament, unlike the other one that is established by shareholders, it is managed by the government, while other joint stock companies are managed by the board of directors or individuals. Then it is financed by taxpayers' money. As public corporation is financed by taxpayers' money, while just any general company or joint stock company or private enterprise is financed by individuals or the shareholders. Then the motive for establishing a public corporation is to provide essential services, while the companies are established to make profit. Now we can see the definitions, the major things that are involved in the various business organizations. I guess we'll take some time. You will look at the questions that will be going through your screen, and after which you attempt them and check where you have issues. You can go back to the video.